Hello my little chickadees. So in today's video I thought I would go back to basics, and this video is going to be for you guys who are bloggers, who want to become bloggers, that want to make money from blogging, all of those things. This video is for you. So these are my 5 basics that you need to know if you are going to start blogging. So let's get into it. So the first thing is know your niche. Now this is something that a lot of new bloggers will kind of figure out on their journey to wherever they're going in their blogging career. It's something that is really difficult because on the one hand, some people will just do it as a hobby and they'll just write about whatever the hell they want to write about, and that's fine. But if you are looking to make it into a business, if you're looking to make money from it, you need a niche and you need to really narrow down what you're going to focus on. So if you want to focus on travel, that's great, but what kind of travel? Are you going to focus on solo travel? Are you going to focus on accessible travel? I can't even talk. Accessible travel? Are you going to focus on travel in only a certain part of the world? I know there's like Croatia travel blogs, there's like Australia travel blogs where they only blog about that particular area. Really narrowing down on your niche means that any brand or business that is looking for that specific area will be able to find you a lot quicker, because if you have a website that has loads of stuff about where to go in Australia, what to do in Australia, blah 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 Australia, blah blah Australia, and Australia is in your name, you're called the Australian Travel Blog, then you will start to appear higher in search engines because Google will be like, that blog is clearly about Australia. So when a brand or a business Googles for bloggers that blog about Australia, you'll be right up there and they'll be like, boom, she does it. Everyone that visits her website, I'm saying her, you could be a guy, everyone that visits their website is looking for tips and stuff on Australia. So if, bear in mind, I'm gonna say Australia a hell of a lot in the next couple of minutes. If Visit Australia, for example, turn around and went, we need bloggers to cover this new campaign that we're doing, we'll choose her because we know that all of her audience are coming to her website for stuff about Australia, so they're the people we want to target. And yeah, so that is pretty much what you kind of have to do. You have to make your blog somewhere that people know exactly what they're going to get as soon as they get there. So if they need advice on something, they know instantly, they're like, well, this is what I need advice on. That person, all she does is write about that, so I'm going to go to her. There, them. Oh, this is so difficult. I always refer to bloggers as women because it's usually that's where they are. That's just who they are. Number 2 is know your platforms. So when I say know your platforms, I mean know what kind of websites you can create. So know about Blogger, know about WordPress, Squarespace, and in that way you can choose the right platform for you. Squarespace may not be the right one for you if you want to get really like detailed. I always say Squarespace is really good for people who are looking to do like service-based businesses. Say if you're a coach or a consultant or something like that, Squarespace is really good because you just want a basic website. If you are a travel blogger, for example, or a fashion blogger, then maybe WordPress might be better because you've got a bit more leeway of what you can do with it. So you can add more features in, you can hire a developer to do really cool interactive pages and make cool plugins and all of this stuff. So know your platforms, and also included in that as well is your social media platform. So know what kind of people are hanging out on the different types of social media. Even though your brand may be the same across everything, it doesn't necessarily mean that those people are going to be on that platform. So for example, people who are using Instagram quite a lot might be very visual people. In my case, there'll be people who enjoy things like photography, that like to learn visually, that watch a lot of tutorials because they can learn visually. Facebook obviously is a completely different kind of kettle of fish. That might be more business, like be it business to business related. It's people who are looking for actual information, so more blogs and stuff like that. Twitter is great for networking, so that usually is the place I go to meet other people in my industry and not necessarily new clients. So Facebook would be a place for me to go and get new clients. Instagram would be a place for me to meet more creatives and start collaborations and potentially meet new clients, but not so much, and more of an inspiration platform so I can like get my message out there. Know your platforms, know what they're best at, and yeah, you'll be able to choose a lot more wisely and get much better results. The third thing is really read up about how brands and businesses work with influencers. So a lot of people will see bloggers making money, but they don't understand how they make money. So if you read a blog or if you watch a vlogging channel a lot, then you tend to find this where if an influencer starts to promote a brand or they have an ad video, they always get all this hate, and that's like, oh, you're destroying your values and you're just doing this for the money. And it's their job. They need to make money from it. It takes so much time to make a video or write a blog post, and a lot of these influencers that have their own businesses at the same time, they're traveling all the time. So yes, they make money from brands and businesses and doing sponsorships and doing paid ads, and you really need to understand how brands and businesses would be using you as an influencer, what kind of things you would have to do in order to make money. So decide really early on whether you're comfortable with doing sponsored posts, whether you're comfortable with doing paid ads, whether you want to work directly with brands and businesses, or whether you just want to use your blog in order to build a separate business of your own and earn money that way. So really early on, decide how exactly you want to make money and what you feel comfortable doing in order to make money. Obviously, don't throw your values and your dignity out the window just to make a bit of cash, but have a think about what your kind of business model is and how you want to make money from being a blogger. The fourth tip I have for you is to learn the basics of SEO. Now, it is something that a lot of people do not like to talk about because it is very complicated. But in actual fact, it's not that complicated, and for bloggers it's a lot easier than for a business because you are constantly creating content and you are constantly, specifically if you have a niche as well, like we talked about in point 1, then you are naturally targeting keywords that people will find you on. So learning the basics of SEO, I have loads of videos on here about SEO, and also if you go and check out my blog, I've got quite a lot of blog articles on SEO as well. That really simplifies it and makes it easy to understand, I hope. I mean, I blow my own horn here, but I kind of feel like it's easy to understand. So it's things like learning about backlinks and how they affect your website, how spammy links from your website or to your website will affect where it appears in Google, knowing what your keywords are, how to find them, and how to incorporate them in your content, how to write for SEO without kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Without sacrificing your actual content and your massage and your massage and your message and your brand core values and things like that. So you don't have to go out there and read all the really crazy technical SEO blogs. Just read the really basic stuff. Just get to grips with what you have to do to get your website seen organically and appearing in search results. The fifth and final tip, is that the right way to do it? I feel like my hand should be the other way around. There we go. The fifth and final tip that I have is to learn basic tools to track your progress. So it can be so easy to get downhearted about being a blogger when you're not seeing the results that your favorite bloggers are getting. So if you're not seeing people flooding your inbox with invitations to fly off somewhere or give you free stuff or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve from your blog, that can be really disheartening. You feel like you're not on the right path, you feel like you're not doing it properly. But that's not the case. Building it up to being at that level takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of commitment, and that should be something that you have already decided you are fine with. So you need to kind of figure out in your head if you are okay with just chipping away at it and really building your blog to a point where it becomes a valuable source of income for you. So when I say tools, I mean, well, if I think about it, the top ones that I would say you need to have is Google Analytics, because that will tell you how much traffic your blog will get every month. It also tells you where your traffic is coming from and how long they're staying on the site and stuff like that. So it gives you a really detailed insight into who your audience is and why they're going to your blog. The next tool I would say to use is a domain authority checker, and just keep on top of that. So if you type in check DA into Google, you'll see loads of them come up. The main one is Moz, but obviously you have to pay for that after a while. But if you just wanted to check what your DA is, then that is the perfect tool to use. So the third tool I would say you should probably get to grips with, and it's not really a tool, it's more of a technique, but it's called search operators. And this is just a very detailed and advanced way of using Google. So for a blogger, Google is one of your main sources of traffic. It is the place that a lot of people will find your blog content, that will find your videos, that will find other like social profiles of you. So Google is your friend. So search operators you can use. I've written a blog post about this very recently, but you can use search operators to find other publications that you could potentially put your content on. So if you've just made a new YouTube video, for example, you might search for other publications in the niche of whatever that video is referring to, and you can get in contact with them and say, hey, I've made this video, I think it would be really cool on your website, would you like to feature it? And if that's the case, they might put it on there. That's going to drive more traffic to your website and stuff like that. So it's basically like a guest blogging kind of deal. So I always use search operators to find guest blogging opportunities, just because it's super easy to do. Guest blogging helps with your backlinks, which helps with your SEO. It also helps drive more traffic to your website and get you seen by more people. So guest blogging is absolutely essential if you are a blogger to get your name out there. There are so many bloggers now that you need to be doing everything you can to get your content in front of the eyeballs of your audience. So guest blogging is a huge way to do that. Collaborating with other bloggers, whether it's through video content, whether it's through blog content or anything like that. Really network the crap out of the blogging community. Everybody in the blogging community likes to collaborate, we like to support each other, we like to go out for drinks and just talk about blogging stuff that we can't talk about with other friends and family members. So it's a very vocal community, it's a very sociable community. So really get involved in that. Even if it's just on Twitter at first and then you progress to like blog events and stuff like that, that's great. The more blog events you go to, the more brands and businesses in your area will kind of start to know who you are, especially if you're collaborating as well. So your whole strategy should be kind of getting your blog in front of other people's eyes, and using all of these top 5 things will definitely do that. So that is my top 5 tips for beginner bloggers, like very beginning, maybe not even created an actual blog yet, whatever the case may be. That's my top 5 tips. So if you have any other questions, then please let me know in the comments down below. I am currently creating a blog to business free email course, so make sure that you are signed up to my email newsletter, which will be linked down below. So make sure you have that, and that is basically going to take you through the very basics of starting a blog and how you can potentially turn that into a business. Also, make sure you go and check out my services. I do offer social media and content consultancy and management, and also strategy as well, and I do love to work with other bloggers, particularly those who are very creative, because I like to work with creative people. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Make sure you go and check out my services. They are linked down below. I don't know what that means, but yes, they'll be there anyway. I don't know anymore. So that's it. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you enjoyed it and you are looking for more content in the future. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye. Bye.